When we start to actually look closely at the language that we are using to speak to ourselves and about ourselves, we might be quite shocked. And the reason why this matters is not about what other people think, it's about what our unconscious mind is hearing, because it hears everything. It takes everything literally, and it uses that information to filter all of the other bits of information that are coming into our brain on a second by second basis. We literally have millions of bits of information that are coming at us in all directions from all of our different senses every second of every day. And yet, our brain can really only deal with about 7 bits of information at a time, plus or minus two. So that means that we need to have some sort of filtering system in place that's going to be able to kind of prioritize things, shove things aside that are seemingly unnecessary for us to have conscious awareness about, for example. And so we literally do this by deleting, distorting, and generalizing the information that's coming in. And of course, we're not consciously aware of most of this. This is our unconscious mind and one of its major jobs. And so, if we go back to the notion that our unconscious mind is hearing everything that we say, and then we're saying negative things to ourselves, and then our unconscious mind is using that information as part of its filtering system, that literally means that if you wake up in the morning thinking about your day, overwhelmed, thinking you're not going to have enough time to complete everything in the day, thinking about how rubbish you feel, for example, or thinking about some past experience that caused you to feel real self-doubt or self-loathing, something you're really not proud of, those types of things that start to kick off emotions and kick off different language that you will use to yourself to talk about yourself to yourself, right? Then you are setting yourself up for every bit of information that comes in that day to be filtered through that lens, the lens of there won't be enough time for me to finish everything. Anybody else would be better at this than me. Who am I to think that I can do this? All of those types of things will be used to help filter the information that comes in your brain today. And that means that it's already expecting you to not have enough time, to not be good enough, to not be able to do this, to struggle, to be overwhelmed, etc. Now, one of the really cool things about our unconscious mind is that it takes everything quite literally. And that doesn't sound like that's a great thing, especially if you've started to think about the types of things that you say to yourself. But it does mean that we can use this to our advantage if we understand how. So let's look at an example. You wake up one morning and you literally don't feel well, right? You literally maybe have a sore throat, you feel run down, you feel like you're coming down with something, right? There are a lot of gurus out there that will tell you that, oh, okay, so to overcome this, you're going to use positive affirmations and you're going to say things to yourself like, I am healing, I am healing, I am healing. And that is absolutely wonderful. And at a certain point, you will be able to believe that. You will be able to resonate on that level with that energy of I am healing. But right now, you're at the very start of this illness. So you don't feel like you are healing. You feel rubbish. You feel like you need to stay in bed. You feel terrible. You feel all of these types of descriptive words that you would use to describe how you're feeling. And healing is not anywhere close to that list. Now, your unconscious mind will completely take it literally when you say, I am sick, or I'm feeling sick, I'm feeling run down. And again, it will filter everything coming at you today through that lens, right? That I am run down, I am not at my best, right? These types of things. But the unconscious mind taking things literally means that if you switch up the way that you are describing how you're feeling to yourself and to others by putting in the word not, it literally will not be able to understand what it's like to not feel something, right? You do need to be careful with this because just putting in the word not for anything isn't going to work. You do have to look at it in terms of, could I literally understand what it's like to not do something, not feel something, not say something, whatever it is that you would like to use to construct this sentence of yours? So let's use feeling, because how do you not feel something? So when you wake up and you realize that you are really under the weather, right? You are run down, you have this cold, you've lost the battle, right? You've got a raging sore throat, right? You can say things like, I'm not feeling well. Because again, your unconscious mind doesn't understand the not feeling. So it will literally delete that bit of the information. And it will either hear, I am well, or I am feeling well. Now, you're not resonating on that level, but you are resonating with the sentence that you've said. You are resonating with the sentence, I am not feeling well. So you are holding that true, and your unconscious mind feels that. So while it deletes the not part of this sentence, it still fully believes that what it's hearing is true, which is different from saying to yourself, I am healing. Because if you don't feel like you're healing, you're not going to resonate with that sentence. So your unconscious mind will hear that, will feel that in some way, and be able to recognize that I am healing is wrong. I'm not healing. Right? So it's about trying to find that balance, find a sentence that's going to work for you, where you can resonate with it so that it resonates as being true, but that your unconscious mind can literally delete the bit of information that it doesn't understand how to interpret, and it will read the rest. Then it will go ahead and filter everything that you're experiencing through that particular lens that day. Now, we all know that when we have an illness, we go through phases of it, right? So there will be a phase when you realize that you are on the other side of this, that you are starting to heal. And so that's a perfect time for you to bring out the I am healing, right? We don't need to put in the idea of not feeling some way because we are actually starting to feel like we are healing. So that's the real key here, is to, number one, find a sentence that is going to work with you and be truthful to what it is that you are experiencing now. And number two, that you are actually able to resonate with those words, right? So, what I mean by that is you don't want to be trying to trick yourself into feeling marvelous when you don't feel marvelous. But what you could say is, I am not feeling marvelous right now. If that resonates with you, that's fantastic. Your unconscious mind doesn't understand how to not feel something, so it deletes that bit of information and says you're feeling marvelous. It checks back in with you. You are resonating with the words, I am not feeling marvelous today. And so it's good to go. And so you will go ahead and filter things through that lens. Now, as you work your way through this illness or through this day, whatever it is, right? This works with anxiety, stress, anything at all. So as you're working through your day and things start to change, there might be new sentences that you want to say. And within the same day, you might find that you can ditch the word not and actually say an accurate sentence that we don't need to delete anything from, but you just need to make sure that you are resonating there. And when you're not, then you construct a different type of sentence. That is the main reason why, for some people, affirmations are something that they struggle with because they are focusing on what it is that they are not feeling. They are not resonating with that. And they have not moved the sentence into what we're talking about by changing it up with the not feeling something. So they're literally trying to convince themselves they are confident when they are not feeling confident, that they are well when they are not feeling well, that they are calm, balanced, at peace, whatever it is, when they are not actually feeling that way. And so they are not going to resonate with the language that they are using, and they will be at odds with their unconscious mind and what it is hearing and interpreting. I hope that helps. I have a wonderful program called the Rise of You 2.0, that this is just one of 12 modules that we will be going through. I'd love to talk to you about it. Go ahead and book a free discovery call so you can learn more about this amazing 6-month program. Bless.